I was born with something called Spina Bifida, which basically means that before I was born the spine didn't form properly around my spinal cord. The Spina Bifida, that mainly affects my mobility, so I walk on crutches and use a wheelchair from time to time. And then the hydrocephalus, that is a brain condition, so it affects my short-term memory and the way that I process information. I had a lot of surgeries. Life at school had its moments, not just with the disability and the difficulties that that presents, just getting around, but also the way that kids would react. There was a lot of bullying, and when it was tough at school and things, God gave me other people in my life who would encourage me and just treat me normally, I guess. For me, being a Christian is following this powerful God who can do anything and who loves me and who basically has everything in his hands, and yet I've got this medical condition. For most people, moving out and learning to drive and starting work and all that is this exciting thing, but for me it was kind of everything all happened all at once, and I felt a lot of pressure. When I was going through all of this, I was really very aware that he had my back. The first passage is John 9. It's the story of this man who was probably about my age at the time I read it, and he was born blind, and so his community, when Jesus comes there, they come to him and say, well, whose fault is this, that this guy's got something wrong with him? Is it his parents' fault? Is there some sort of sin in his life that he needs to deal with and then he'll be fixed? But Jesus says to him, no, it's nobody's fault. It's that he was allowed to be born with this condition so that he would have a story, so that God would be able to use him to show people his goodness and what he's capable of. It's cool that people can see God's work because of what I face. Probably the best example would be a school camp that I went on. One of the things that we were asked to do was to abseil out this big hole in the top of the gymnasium, and a lot of people were quaking in their boots. They were really scared at this idea, but I thought, no, I'm not gonna not do this. And so off I went out the window and down the wall and beat the boys to it. That was fun. My relationship with God it's something that I really value. He always reminds me that he made me, that I'm not a mistake, that every one of us is handcrafted as an original, and it's part of what he has planned, and that he's good. So even though things like disability and pain and grief and all that will afflict us on earth, he can work through whatever happens to us. Heaven's going to be good. I mean, that's kind of what I'm most excited about, I think, is, I mean, although God is here for me here and now, and he's in my life here and now, he has the best yet to come. Like, everything will be just the way that he would like it to be, and it'll be just the best that it can be, which I think probably by God's standards is pretty awesome.